All right, let's turn to bowl season now. The first bowl game, and it's actually this Saturday. Usually we have wait a couple of weeks till we get that first bowl game, but no, Saturday night. It's the Salute to Veterans Bowl, Montgomery, Alabama. South Alabama out of the Sun Belt, Western Michigan out of the MAC. We've got South Alabama 9.5-point favorites, 59.5 the total here in this game. Keep an eye. There's a talk about the quarterback injury for Navy. There's a quarterback injury for South Alabama. Gio Lopez, he got banged up at the end of that last South Alabama game. Questionable for this bowl game. Bishop Davenport would be in line to get the start if Lopez is a no-go for this game. It is worth noting Davenport does have 55 pass attempts this year for South Alabama, 60% completions, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He's got the ability to run with the football a little bit. So his numbers aren't bad, and he's actually been around. He was at Utah State. He played a little bit there a few years ago. So there is some experience here. It's not that all is lost for South Alabama here if Gio Lopez doesn't play. By the way, their top running back, Fluff Bothwell, great name. He's in the transfer portal. So it looks like he may not play in this game. More than likely, a lot of the transfer portal players will not suit up in their bowl game, which means Kentrell Bullock would line up next as the starting running back here for South Alabama in this game. Western Michigan, of course, a defense that I don't like very much. Hayden Wolf, of course, the quarterback, hungry like the wolf, a guy that was transferred over from Old Dominion. Solid stuff. Again, I liked what I saw offensively from Western Michigan, but the defense got ripped far too often throughout the course of the season. Be interesting to see how they fare here in this game. They did finish the regular season of the MAC with a 26-18 win against Eastern Michigan. It is worth noting they did play a team out of the Sun Belt, the Sun Belt champions, the Marshall Thundering Herd, who, of course, got it done against Louisiana on Saturday night. They lost that game, Western Michigan, 27-20 to the Sun Belt champs. That is something to keep in mind. They were competitive, Western Michigan, in that game. They were getting 3.5, and it was at Marshall. They lost 27-20. It was way back in September. Does that mean Western Michigan can compete here? We'll see. Western Michigan, also one thing to point out with them, laying points, not always been great. They've been a little bit better in that underdog role. They haven't been in the dog role much, but, up and down when they've been asked to lay points. Given the concerns about Lopez's status, I kind of lean at least initially here to, I haven't bet this game yet, but I do lean initially here to Western Michigan. Probably difficult to not lean over the total in this game because South Alabama offensively was really good. And even if they go to Davenport, I think he's capable. Especially with the Western Michigan defense not being great. But the Western Michigan defense, look, I know they shut down Eastern Michigan and Central Michigan the last 2 games, but this is also a defense that got ripped by Buffalo, ripped by Ball State, ripped by Bowling Green, ripped by Northern Illinois, and this is probably a better offense, South Alabama, than all those teams, or at least as good. So I lean Western Michigan initially. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, we'll touch on this constantly because it's going to change, and that's why we're kind of covering these first few games, but these even will going up, like you mentioned with Bothwell. So just, I don't want to say it too crazy, but just go check everything out, in these games, what's going on with people. But he's a big key to their offense in this one. I get why there could be points, high total. These defenses aren't very good. Can South Alabama, if Lopez is out, take advantage of Western Michigan? Because their secondary wasn't very good. They were near 120 kind of all year. I think they finished right around there, 116. They gave up over 250 through the air. And there's not a ton of teams in the MAC that can just throw it around either. So we'll see if South Alabama, could take advantage of that. I mean, this is in the Crampton Bowl. This is Montgomery, Alabama. It's just that you got to look at that side of it. So, but this team is laying 10 and kind of been hit and miss all year long. When I look at it, I think Western Michigan can have some success because I just don't think South Alabama has a great defense. So right now at this 10, I take the points with Western Michigan, even though it's not the best, place maybe to go to here. Western Michigan, Alabama. I think they can hang around in this game.